jasmine, oolong, green, and white. Long ago, these 4 teas were skillfully brewed at the Blissful Brew. Then, everything changed when the shop's popularity threatened its existence. All Mr. Okuran, the shop's owner and tea master, could do was to recruit 4 teenage orphans to learn his trade and staff his shop. A year has passed since the orphans were hired, and although their skills have progressed, they still have a lot to learn before they can brew anything. But I believe that they have the potential to make the Blissful Brew the greatest tea shop in the world.
Welcome everybody back to another episode of Benders and Brews. We're doing a little bit of a Session 0 Season 2 kickoff to kind of jump into something that we kind of missed doing along the way, which is character growth, which is obviously a big part of Avatar Legends. That's how you essentially, quote-unquote, level up during the game. So we wanted to do kind of a little pre-Season 2 episode to discuss what growth each character has kind of come across and discuss that and get that all put into our character sheets. So I mean, we were just talking to Michaela, aka Mika, about hers, and it sounded like we had some ideas, so we can start with hers. Michaela, Mika's growth question as the rogue is, did you get a friend to join in or approve of any of your bad habits?
My initial reaction was no, but
we all know that wasn't true.
Yeah, that's a lie. Well, because you know, I got the whole gang to go with me to the. Who was?
I don't remember the family's name.
I just remember the butler.
The Shifu family.
Oh yeah, the Shifu. You broke into the Shifu family house. You got everybody into the Shifu family house.
I did.
I don't know if technically it counts like per instance. I mean, it was one quote unquote bad habit of breaking in, and you got everybody to do it. So I don't know, but whatever the case, let me see. Were there any other situations where Mika did something? I mean, that was definitely her highlight for sure.
I mean, she had lots of highlights. My favorite.
Fair point. Fair point. Whatever the case, I mean, assuming that we count it per instance, that would have meant that you tricked 1, 2, 3 people at least. Not tricked. You got 3 people to follow along with your trouble causing. Technically, your growth is 4, but I do feel like by the end of seasons, everybody should level up in a sense, per se. And I'm sure there's something that we're probably forgetting. I don't know. I just really feel like there might have been one other instance. Maybe we kind of jokingly mentioned Chikra and how you kind of like, in a weird sense, like tricked her that you were joining their group and like, I don't know, led her astray. So, I mean, in a way.
Well, yeah, and then Broccoli, we pretended to be Hot Leaf people.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You infiltrated.
Yeah.
Hot Leaf juice. So yeah, that would be a good fourth one.
We went into town and stole the ingredient list.
Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I would say yeah, you definitely got Broccoli involved.
I can play a rogue.
There you go. Fair point. Fair point. All right. So you now have an option as your growth advancement. You have a couple of options in there. You can take a new move from your playbook. You can take a new move from somebody else's playbook. You can raise a stat by +1 to a maximum of +2. You can shift your center 1 step, or you can unlock your moment of balance. And just to clarify, your moment of balance is going to be some moment where you essentially... Well, I can just read what your moment of balance says. It says, you learned early on that you had to do what you needed to survive. And that sometimes meant you lost friends. Now you have a new balance. Rule breaking isn't something that just drives people away. It's something that you can use constructively with your friends. So you would tell me how you lead your companions to break all the rules and accomplish something incredible. It's a one-time use, but it's big. So I'll let you think about it and figure out what of those options that you want to choose. So you can see that they have boxes next to them except for the raise the stat. I think you only get that one once. Actually, no, you get that one as many times as you want. But obviously you'd be sacrificing the other options there. But I'm going to let you think on that, and then we'll jump over to Cameron while you think about it. So Cameron, you're playing Bill Dorr, who is the Guardian, and your question is, did you pursue a desire or a goal of your own that was outside of protecting others?
Not that I can think of.
I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of it was driven, for sure, by the concept of, helping others.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. Because at the end of the day, everything that drove Bill Dorr was regarding either protecting or helping his friends or protecting them, or something that would help the shop and Mr. Ocaron. I don't think he ever did something for himself.
I'm looking through the episode titles.
Which I guess means he never even grew, so...
He never grew at all.
You did something for yourself?
Yeah, when did Bill ever do anything for himself? Exactly. See? Okay, so it's pretty clear, Bill.
You made yourself a sandwich.
Oh yeah, you did make yourself a sandwich. That's true. When you guys broke into the house,
right.
That's a good point.
Yeah, but then well, yeah.
I mean, it was literally outside of the mission. Like everybody else was trying to accomplish something, and Bill Dorr was just chilling in the kitchen making a sandwich.
Yeah, you literally didn't check on anybody. You're just like,
well, no,
sandwich
because
sounds
after the sandwich, then I proceeded to help Mika out of a situation. Wait, I don't even think I helped Mika. I think I literally just walked right past the dude while eating a sandwich and just
You literally
left.
walked in, made a sandwich, and walked out, and just said peace to the butler as you left.
And grabbed my bow staff on the way out. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
guess there's
just-
one time. Yes.
Okay, that's one.
I can't think of any others.
He's a strong, independent man. He doesn't need no woman.
Well, it's not really independent though, because all of his actions are based on other people. So it's the opposite of independent. Which is
You
why
made
I
yourself a
guess
sandwich. You didn't need a woman in the kitchen doing it for you.
if I knew there was a butler.
Yeah, you can make the butler do it. I'm trying to think back to. That was more Guo's idea, I guess, with the wine and the tea. So
He in the maze. I went left and he just went right.
That's not really an individual choice because I was
I mean,
looking
it
for stuff
was.
in the maze.
I suppose he was. Yeah, you were trying to find something.
My
which you
goal
could
of
then
the maze was to
bring
help
back
the
and-
shop. That's why I
yeah.
was in the maze.
That's true. That's true. And even if you don't do this now, and you only got 1 out of the 4, I feel like, given the fact that Mr. Ocaron is dead.
Spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't watched season 1,
I hope they're not starting. They should not be starting right here.
I hope they're not like, oh, they made 2 session zeros. I better listen to those first. Like, no. Well, I mean, this feels like a late point to say, if you haven't listened to season 1, be sure to listen to season 1 so you can find out how Mr. Ocaron dies.
And who Mr. Ocaron
And who Mr.
Who is this guy?
Well, who any of us are really.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever the case, I think that now that Mr. Ocaron has passed on, I think it'll open up a lot more opportunity for Bill Dorr to step outside of this idea of protecting other people and maybe focus on, even if they might be, maybe a darker concept of what Bill wants. There will be more of what Bill possibly wants. So, all right. Well, whatever the case, we'll just have to come back to Bill Dorr on growth and such and growth options. So, some of these are a bit tricky. I'm not gonna lie. Dave, playing Guohan, you were playing the Adamant, and the Adamant's growth question is, did you seek support or guidance from others?
I'd say yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think when Guo was with Bill at the party.
True.
Trying to figure out what to do to prepare. I asked him like, what should we do? And he's just like, let's just get ready to serve some tea.
Get some tea going.
I don't remember though.
No, I mean, I think you definitely, especially like even when you were doing something that was really like you forward, like the wine tea and stuff. I mean, you were turning to Bill and being like, we got to work together on this. Like, what are your thoughts? How can we get this moving, or how can we do this correctly? So I would definitely agree that would be a situation that would fill this growth for sure. Let's see, I'm trying to think. I'm looking through like the descriptions and stuff just to like see the details.
A big moment where Guo sought the support from others was when he made an emotional appeal to the neighborhood.
Oh yes.
Tried to get them to join in to save the tea shop.
And he succeeded too, because they got like real worked up and everything. That was awesome.
They did a flash
They
mob.
did a stomp. A
Yeah,
really infamous snap.
Snap.
Yeah. So that's true. That's true. So I guess that would be an instance where I wouldn't count each individual. Like Dave just fully leveled his character in one go because he encouraged a whole town of people to join in on a fight. Do you feel like that, because that's a good one, so definitely mark that down. Do you ever feel like there was an instance where you kind of got anything from Mr. Ocaron that might have pushed Guo? I guess I can't really think of anything on top of that. I don't see too much, honestly. Else. Okay. So, well, did we have, how many did we get out of that? Did we get 2?
Yeah, 2.
Okay. So we got 2 instances out of that.
So does that mean it gets 2 growth points?
Yes. Two of those boxes next to the growth options.
Sick.
All right. Finally, we're coming to Connor, who is playing Brock Lee, who is the hammer. And your growth question is, did you make progress towards your goal against your adversary? Now, previously, if you listened to the prequel episodes, you would know that Brock Lee's adversary is Wang Long. That's sort of his long-term adversary. But it does mention that he does have the option to switch adversaries along the way, which makes sense. You're going to have long-term and short-term adversaries. Wang Long didn't make an appearance in season 1 outside of the prequel episodes. So villains you would have had or adversaries you might have had during season 1 would have probably been the Wild Coyote Boars and
Madame Yang.
Madame Yang. And those would probably be the big 2.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, I'd say I made a few advances towards, taking them down. There is, sinking Madame Yang into the ground.
That's a solid
and
one.
Shutting the lid.
Yep. Nearly killing her.
Well, then there's also Chikra when I incapacitated her.
Right.
I'll say. And that. If you count that whole other scuffle with the other Wild Coyote Boars, I was the one who had to do the final negotiations with the last Wild Coyote Boar.
Right.
So that if you count those as 2 separate ones, I would say that's 3.
So that's a total of 3. Yeah, that works.
Do we count the rescue mission of Dilbert? When I went into the basement and rescued Dilbert.
I
Is
say
he?
yes. His
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, Dilbert's
But
family.
I don't. Well, who was the adversary then?
I don't know. Maybe it
The
was
basement.
Sebastian.
So it does say that when you change your adversary,
Yes.
let me see where it says. You can change your adversary anytime you mark a condition or at the end of each session.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I could definitely jump on the other 2. I don't know if I can see the butler having given you reason to create him as an adversary.
True.
But I definitely think those other 3 fit.
Cool. Does it have to be a direct attack against them? Because we could also consider launching the hot leaf juice people's tea into the maze. Would it be at least a hindrance to them? I would suppose.
It says progress towards your goal against your adversary, and
Yeah.
your goal was to
It's a kind of upstage.
ruin
hot
their
leaf juice.
situation.
And then there was also when I shattered their glasses.
Right. I would say
The whole party thing is like...
Yeah, the whole party thing is 1. Yeah, so I could see that, and then that would hit your 4, which could push you to one of your advancements.
Sick.
All right, so while you decide on that, I'll jump back over to Michaela. Michaela, which one did you pick?
Where's your book at?
It's in the other room.
So we're gonna need that to look at other playbooks if that's what people want to do.
Oh yeah, that's true. You'll want both books, Washing Tongs as well.
Washing tongs.
Washing Tongs.
So how do we learn new fighting techniques?
Yeah, so
You don't.
those will be done through like in-game discovery. So like you might find like scrolls or a teacher that you could work with and spend time learning to gain new techniques.
And then to advance in the ones that we already know.
Right. Same. I think same situation. Yeah.
Gotcha. So since in my case, when I had 4, does that mean I can choose 2 of them and have 2 little boxes next to them? Or does that mean that I have to go through it fully twice in order to do it once?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do take a move from my playbook.
Okay. So one of those moves on the first page. There's all the different options there. Which one did you take originally? Just so I remember.
I got to choose 2.
Right.
So my original ones were Roguish Charm.
Okay.
And is that the best you got?
Got it. Okay. And then which one are you going to choose now?
Slippery Eelhound.
Slippery Eelhound. All right. That sounds great. So now that you've picked that out, we will possibly see that come into play in season 2. Connor, jumping over to you.
Yeah.
Looking through those options, what were you thinking of taking?
I was thinking of raising stats.
Okay.
And so if I got all 4, does that just mean I can only do it once, though?
So you can do it as many times as you want.
Oh.
Once you reach your 4 growth, you can go up there and raise a stat. The only limitation is that any stat can only be at a +2.
Yes, Connor.
So I can raise multiple stats?
No. Like
the
you
answer to
raise
your question is just you get 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get 1.
Yeah.
All right, so I am adding 1 to passion, so I'm now +2 passion.
Nice. All right. And with that being done, we're going to close out session 0 there. Be sure to check out season 2, as we'll be actually looking at these characters and seeing where they go from here with their newfound skills or seeing their growth along the way. So we will see you guys in episode 1 of season 2. Thank you so much for listening to our show. Of course, don't forget to follow or subscribe to our podcast through whatever podcast site that you're using, such as iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and others. Additionally, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just look for the social media icons. Following us on social media gives you access to all news, announcements, and of course new episodes as they are released. You can check out our website, bendersandbrews.com, which will feature all of our episodes as well as news, announcements, and even cool character and player profiles. It's a great hub of information for the Benders and Brews podcast. And finally, we would be truly humbled if you would be willing to take the time to leave us a review if your podcast site allows you to do so, such as on iTunes. Or, in the case of YouTube, you can hit the like and subscribe button and drop us a comment. Tell us about what you thought about our podcast episodes. It sure would mean a lot to us. Avatar Legends is a tabletop role-playing game created by Magpie Games. Nickelodeon, Avatar, and all related titles, logos, and characters are trademarks of Viacom International Inc., all rights reserved. I also want to thank the following artists who you can find on Fiverr for their amazing creative work on this podcast. Character art was done by alessiopapadraw.
Background art by Kennicchi. Music by Joe Timms 215. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.